Welcome to the No Streetlights Podcast. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Tim. We'll be engaging in vulnerable conversations every Friday to shine a light on what we've been through,
how it changed us, and what we learned. We want to encourage societal growth towards kindness through understanding.
These conversations and the associated language can be triggering.
Listen at your own discretion.
But please reach out if we need to be doing something better.
So, let's take a breath, relax, and be welcome.
Happy recording day, Aaron.
Happy recording day, Mothy.
I love the name. I hope everybody refers to me from now on as Mothy and only Mothy.
Well, we are West Virginia natives.
God, I am Mothy, man. So I've been thinking of an idea lately. Something that's kind of come to mind while I've been, kind of going through turbulent moments in my life. And I really wanted to bring somebody who understands and has the same mindset as I do. So this week, we have brought back my wonderful, illustrious sister-in-law, Kirsten.
Hi. Oh, you can't.
Kirsten.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
It's good to be back. I've been bugging Tim about it.
It's true.
Okay.
I get a text message, an Instagram message. If anybody here is familiar with the show The Office, I get a woof from her. So it's a fax, a text, a tweet, all that good stuff. So I don't think that term is trademarked, so I can use it safely. But last time you were here with us, Kirsten, we had the lovely opportunity to talk about not being a creep and how guys need to change their ways of how they act towards women in public, in society, and just how women don't feel comfortable around men.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the whole TikTok thing happened with would you choose a bear or a man in the woods?
Yep.
That's a whole thing now.
Oh, yeah. That's a massive conversation that's going around on the interwebs. Sad to say, we are not here to talk about that today.
Sorry, people.
I am, in fact, sorry about that, because I'm sure there are a couple people who would absolutely love to hear us talk about that, I think.
For sure.
I need to get some more gear before we sign me up to fight everyone on the internet.
Yeah.
I'll send you some gear. It's fine.
Thank you.
I hope you got plenty of extra gear in the back of that Impala, Kirsten, because we are here to talk about something that is quite near and dear to all three of our hearts, and something that's a little bit more lighthearted compared to what we've been talking about lately. I want to talk about the concept of comfort shows and how they can play a pivotal role in managing anxiety and depression. Now, there's a couple shows that I like to revert to whenever I'm dealing with hard times in my life, but I know the show that I went to whenever I was at some of my lowest of lows was, well, Supernatural. And yeah, that's what we're going to talk about here today, folks. We're here to talk about Supernatural. So strap in. I hope everybody is ready for this fun conversation. Supernatural family, if you're out there listening, please support us. We're here to talk about, engaging conversations every Friday. So, and Supernatural has played a big part in the three of our lives. So, Kirsten, why don't we just start off with you? Tell me a little bit about what is Supernatural to you?
Oh my God, that's a good question. For anyone who can't see, I do have a supernatural background currently. It's pretty great.
Hell yeah.
But Supernatural to me, honestly, it took over my life in 2021, which I didn't realize the show ended at 2020. I was in the middle of a move, actually, and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to watch this show for a very long time. It's on Netflix. Why not try it? So I turned it on while I was moving, and then first thing I saw, Mary Winchester on the ceiling, burning into flames. And I'm like, I'm here for it. This is going to be a good show. And then 3 months later, I finished it, and I'm currently on my 4th rewatch right now.
Good Lord.
I'm already on halfway through season 14 already.
Oh my God. For those of you who don't know, and for some of you who do know, Supernatural is a quite long series, 15 seasons, about 20 episodes each season, and each episode is roughly about an hour. So,
Yeah,
Kirsten, that's a lot of viewing hours you got into that show.
I
I've
know,
been rewatching.
especially
I've
it's
been
like,
rewatching, and I'm like, I just got to season 5.
oh, it's such a good season.
Hell yeah. So,
But yeah, like back to your question, it's literally everything to me at this point. Like I live and breathe Supernatural. And oh, fun fact for the viewers and listeners, Tim and his wife did go to a convention and they got me this autograph from there because I can't afford to go.
oh yeah. So on that autograph, we have the lovely Jensen Ackles, the gorgeous Jared Padalecki, Rob Benedict, who has the most glorious beard in the entire existence, and Robert Spite. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He's Gabriel. And then there's also two other individuals we got to meet there. No, wait, one, two. Let's see here. Sam, Dean, God, Gabriel. Oh
I'm
wait,
holding it right in front of you.
I know, but I can't
You
make
got
out.
Drake Rogers,
Oh, Drake Roger. Yeah, that's right. The guy from
the
the
two guys
spinoff.
from
And then
Winchester,
who's the other person?
the beautiful person who plays Carlos.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Two people from the spinoff series that I am Winchesters. That's what it's called. Yep. Uh-huh. Sorry, blanking.
Yes, I believe his or their name is Jojo Fleites.
JoJo. Yes, that's
Mhm.
right. Very lovely individual. Had a phenomenal time. That was Jib 13. They had it 3 days of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Rome at the Hilton Airport at the Fiumicino Airport. Phenomenal. Loved it.
And then my sister tried to set me up with Drake Rogers.
Yeah. I really thought he was going to call you. I'm kind of disappointed in him. Drake, if you're listening to this episode,
He has a girlfriend.
Drake, if you're listening to this episode, it's okay. You're allowed to like who you like. So,
Love is love.
indeed.
I'll admire from a distance.
Yeah, they're all very gorgeous people in Supernatural. So, I like to, admire them all when I'm watching the show. I think they're all very beautiful and aesthetically um pleasing to the eye.
The amount of pictures I have on my phone of Jensen Ackles is insane. I'd be
I believe
watching the
that.
show and then I'd pull out my phone. I'm like, damn, he's so pretty.
And at least getting into it in 2021, you didn't have to wait like the rest of us for these seasons to drop because that
God,
was so painful.
brutal. Good Lord.
I just can't believe I got onto it like as soon as the show ended. Literally the next year. I'm like, okay, it's all there.
Yeah, definitely.
So I
Um,
got to the tragedy faster.
the tragedy and comedy, I would call it the divine tragedy and comedy, actually.
I love that.
So, what are
Spicy.
some of the things that you've taken from Supernatural, or where do you want to start this discussion if that's not it?
Ooh, there's so many ways I can go because I could talk about it all day. But we only have like what? Not too long. Um, we could start with how I feel about the women in Supernatural, first of all.
Yeah.
That is a great place to start, Kirsten. Before you dive into it, just to make it very clear to all of our audience here, most likely we're going to get into spoilers of the show. So if you have not finished Supernatural, we're not going to be able to put a disclaimer before every single spoiler because I've already said a spoiler. We might have already said a few spoilers now.
Yeah.
I apologize. I hope the people listening are okay and kind of give us some leeway.
You've had
And
4 years. Figure it out.
yeah. Damn straight. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kirsten, what do we want to talk about who do you want to shout out for females from Supernatural?
Ooh, maybe controversial, but Bella.
Hmm.
The
Like
world's greatest
she,
thief.
yeah, I actually love her. And also, okay, like I feel like they brushed over her childhood trauma, where like they did give little hints about like her abuse and assault from her dad. And like they didn't really give her like a good arc to end, literally just being mauled by hellhounds.
Hmm.
That's fair. That is a difficult thing to bring up and address and talk about, though. I mean, we've been at this for like mid 40s episodes, and we still haven't really covered SA because it is
Yeah.
such a complex subject.
And
Hmm.
let's be real, also Sam was assaulted by Becky. So,
Yep.
and no one talks about it. It's just a joke.
What's that? Season 7, Time for a Wedding?
Oh. Every time I get to that rewatch, I'm like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off.
Yeah, that Supernatural is not a stranger to some of their concepts, ideas, and characters not aging very well with the time.
No,
There's
but also we have to think about like what the time period they did start. So,
Yeah, that's what that phrasing is supposed to imply and mean. Supernatural definitely it came out in 2004, 5 time frame. And yeah, definitely like terminology, like using the phrase gay to mean like lame or not cool was still a big thing. And I don't think Supernatural never overtly stated like or used that term. I don't think. I can't recall. But there were moments in the show where like they used um LGBTQ elements as like the comedic punchline.
Mhm.
yeah. And then also the cheerleader comment.
Ooh, yeah, that's the one where Dean and Sam go work at the school, right?
Yeah, with the iconic red shorts.
Yeah, the red shorts.
So when
Yeah.
he said that, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, Dean makes a comment. I don't know if you remember this or not, Aaron, but Dean makes a comment about one or two of the cheerleaders being of legal age while he's operating as the PE teacher at the school.
And Sam's just like, Dean, no. And I'm like, yeah, Dean, no.
Yeah, Dean,
Yeah,
no.
No.
that's super sketchy. And luckily, we just talked about that in episode 16. That's something that culture is saying, like, hey, hell no.
Yeah, like that's not cool. We don't put that in our TV shows and stuff like that. And nobody idolizes Dean because he made that comment in season 4.
No,
So in fact,
no.
as the show progressed and got into like season 6 and 7, they really started getting away from a lot of those like more sexual deviant personality traits that Sam and Dean, well, mostly Dean, uh portrayed, I guess. But yeah. So what about Bella?
Oh my God. Like, honestly, I'm sorry, but I root for her. I root for her. She's just doing what she can to survive, basically. Like, even though it's the wrong way. Everyone on the show does the same thing. Um, just she's just had a hard life, and then they just basically threw her to the side.
Yeah.
And
I
Yeah, I
then,
did
you
can't.
love
know, oh, go ahead.
I did love how she is just another human being and how deeply she challenged both Sam and Dean.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
later on, we see tons of power creep with Leviathans and all this other crazy stuff.
Hmm.
And she's just a person who's also trained her whole life to survive.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, come on, she had the best banters too with them.
Yeah. Yeah, they introduced the idea throughout Supernatural about having a quote unquote like female Winchester. And yeah, Bella, I think, was the first real, I could be very wrong in that. But I think Bella was like the first successful implemented character that came across as like the female Winchester, where
Oh yeah.
she was doing the same thing that hunters do, kind of. She dabbled in the arts and the monsters and the creatures and the demons, but she did it for self-serving purposes.
Yeah. And you know, with her background, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you get Joe and Ellen.
Oh, Joe and Ellen.
Especially like Joe was meant to be like the female version of Dean.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah,
well, more like
well, yeah, well, don't forget the nails and the, metal bits and stuff. And I think
Gonna
they
go out
poured a
with a
bunch of
bang.
salt. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, they definitely tried to make Joe at the beginning, and I think this is where I'm talking about the implementation of like the female Winchester because they tried to do that with her character, where she did the whole flip the shotgun on Dean thing, and it was so cool,
yeah,
and everyone's like, "Whoa, who's this badass?" And then literally like 2 episodes later, she's the damsel in distress, and Dean has to go and save
yeah.
her, and it's like, oh. But Bella never really played the damsel in distress role
No.
until the very end where they had the assassination of character.
Yeah, when, the Hellhounds came after her.
Yeah. Now, I do think that, God, 1 hour is not going to be enough for us to talk about all these plot points and everything.
Right?
I think what they were trying to do, and I could be wrong here, right? But I feel like with the Hellhounds, they wanted to make the Hellhounds enough of a threat that the boys would actually be terrified of them. So whenever it came to Bella actually dying to the Hellhounds, it made it very clear that these things are an actual threat. Like if somebody as good and, as smart as Bella was still dog food, how the hell is Dean ever going to make it out of his deal?
Also, the fact using females as a gateway to move the plot along. Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie was that death was brutal.
Yeah, and she had such a unceremonious death.
It was awful, and it was just to move Dean's plot along.
Hmm. It wasn't even like I feel like they could have achieved that same thing 15,000 other ways, but instead they killed off one of the most beloved side characters in the entire show.
What? They left her bloody in a bathtub. How? What is that? What is that?
Poor
Anyway,
writing.
justice for the women in Supernatural. Thank you.
Hell yeah. So is there like a female character that you kind of so I know you said Bella's like your favorite, but is there a female character that you think embodied or at least came close to embodying what you wanted out of a female character in the show?
Rowena.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I know,
Hell
quick
yeah.
answer. Wow.
Yeah. Rowena,
Like,
phenomenal.
she was
Yeah.
never weak. She constantly survived. She wasn't a good guy nor a bad guy. Like, all powerful witch,
Mm-hmm.
did everything right. Like, no matter how many times she died, she's just like, joke's on you guys, I'm still here.
Yep.
Always one step ahead of Lucifer. I think that's a big thing. And one over the Winchesters.
Oh my God. Her death scene too. You
Oh,
know it's a
no.
big deal when Sam is crying.
No, like, dude, I couldn't stop crying with her death. And honestly, I think she had the best death.
Oh, okay.
Like, out of female characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least, like, self-sacrificing. And, she does come back as the king of hell. So, spoiler.
Ah, come on. You don't gotta qualify it as best death of female character. You could just call it best death of all time in Supernatural. I mean,
Mm.
It's just,
Tim,
Rowena's
thoughts?
just, oh. And her makeup is always slay.
I don't
Always
Her
know.
happens to
makeup
look
and her
good.
costume design. Oh my fuck. Oh my god, dude.
No, and oh my God, when she took that, when Sam gave her that spell for the book of the, or from the book of the dam, she just became even more powerful. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
give it to me.
Yeah, all the purple, I think it was purple energy like coursing everywhere and
Yes.
everything. And she's just like, ah.
And I'm like, give me more. Give
Phenomenal
me
acting on the
more.
actress's part. Her and Chuck, they're together in real life.
Yes.
And
And they have a kid.
yeah, did they have the kid already or they're expecting still? I don't
The kid
remember.
was just born.
Oh, congratulations to them. Hell
Yay.
yeah. No,
Yes.
you said best death. Would you agree with Aaron saying that Rowena had the best death, or are you just saying that as the best girl death?
Give me a minute. I'm trying to go through all the deaths that
Yeah,
happened throughout the
there's
50
only like
Good luck.
seasons.
25 per episode, so
You know what? Yeah, Rowena had the best death. Period. Right there.
Hell yeah.
Tim's
Tim, you
like,
seem to have a
no.
counter argument here before we move on.
you're damn straight. I have a counter
I
argument.
know the worst death.
No, we will have to touch that, but to me, the best death by far is in the finale of season 3 when Dean gets ripped up by the Hellhounds.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
I watched that pretty
Ow!
recently. And how is that the best death? It's just him getting chewed up.
Because it's freaking Dean, the main character. The season ends on the scene of him dying and going to hell. Can you imagine what that was like for the viewers originally when they watched that scene and then had to wait a whole like 5 months or so in order to find out what the hell is going on with Dean? Like,
I hear you, but I feel like it's not epic enough. It is just a guy getting chewed up by dogs, supernatural dogs, and he is the main character. So I get you, but I feel like his resurrection there in season 4 was even more impactful. So
yeah, I mean his resurrection was more impactful, but we're talking about deaths, not resurrections.
yeah, but in order
Rowena.
for the death to be pivotal, it has to be final or it has to be massive. It's just a stepping stone. It's just the first time one of the main characters died.
Which is a big stepping stone. It's the first time one of the main characters died.
They dilute it so
Correction,
much
it
later
was
on.
Sam.
Oh, Sam did die at at
Sam
the end of
died
season
first. How
2.
dare you?
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
For like an
And that
hour? What
one,
was that?
Yeah,
that one hurt.
for a couple hours.
That one hurt.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good death too. I don't know. I'm all about Dean getting ripped up by the Hellhounds. That's me. That's where I'm sitting. That's the throne, the hill I'm gonna die on, guys.
Me with Rowena, where she literally fell to her death. Well, you got Sam stabbing her because he's the only one who could kill her because death said so. And then she's just going over there collecting all the souls into her and then dives into the pit of hell as it shuts. And
Which
then
is
you just
good.
have Sam there crying.
It's good. It's good. I'm not
It's
saying it's not
so
good.
good.
Well, okay. Going back to Dean though.
Back to Dean.
What about Dean's final death?
The worst death of all deaths.
Oh
What was his final
God.
death? You're gonna have to walk me
In
through
the
that
last
again.
episode?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
The
I
most
almost yeah.
stupid death ever. Like, okay, in my opinion, I do believe it was a good idea to kill off Dean to make a big impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that way was stupid. And not to mention, that speech was so long that they would have had all the time to get to the hospital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam is like a certified witch. Like he could have easily have stopped the bleeding or cauterized the wound.
And then be like, okay, let's go to the hospital. Woo!
Yeah.
Like,
The reason that
honestly, I think he could have died in the Impala, like blowing up or something.
Ooh, that would have
I
been
don't
a
know if we want to
controversial
lose
move.
the baby like that.
But he
Yeah.
dies
Black
with his
Beauty.
baby.
Yeah. The so for me, that final death of Dean, it was just like, oh hey, here's how vulnerable they are once the plot armor is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of that
That
come through?
makes
Yeah.
sense though, but I still think that death is stupid.
I agree. I think it's dumb as shit because it's like they should have died every single episode and they just didn't because plot armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they spell it out for the audience, but God was literally like writing their story. But once Jack took over as God, Sam and Dean no longer were the main characters. They just became other humans who, you know, fighting, you killing monsters, hunting things, family business.
The family business.
I
The
feel like
family
it would have
business.
been saving people, hunting things.
And yeah, Dean and Sam had killed hundreds. I mean, Dean had probably killed thousands, if not more, vampires because of
Yeah,
how
so
much time
like
he spent in purgatory and everything. So if
he
anybody's going
still
to be
has
killing
that
fangs,
freaking training.
yeah, if anybody's killing fangs, it's going to be the Winchesters. But
Yeah.
Dean dying to the fangs, to the vampires, I'm sorry, but I think that's poetic for the ending. It's like he's that's it. It's done. Like they're not the main characters anymore. They're just regular fucking dudes trying to, do the best they can. And well, bye-bye.
The one time Cass isn't there.
Yeah, he was busy
Speaking of
with kids.
Cass,
Ooh.
I vote
Baby
him
Angel.
for worst deaths because it was just so dumb every time they just like blew him up. Like, come on, guys. You can't just punk his ass out like that.
Yeah,
My
the creator
my favorite
loved
little
blowing
Tweety
Cass.
Pie.
Dude. And how do you guys feel about the dark once that was introduced as like this
The
the true
Empty.
power?
The
The
empty,
empty,
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
I'm currently on that season again.
Hmm.
And I literally have no opinion on The Empty.
Okay, fair.
My opinion on
Like,
the Oh, sorry.
oh, I'm sorry, you go ahead. My thoughts just come very late.
No, it's fair. I if you don't mind me saying, I think The Empty was a fine addition to the show. I don't think it ruined anything. Like
No.
the Empty wasn't quote unquote like stronger than God or Amara or anything. It was just an alternate location where the demons and angels would go when they died. It made
And
sense
then
because they didn't go to heaven and they didn't go to hell. They didn't go to purgatory. They had to go somewhere. So
and then the balance was thrown off.
yeah, I mean, it made sense. I do not like the empties or how they utilize the empty in finalizing Castiel's death. That was
Ah!
so terrible.
If any other death hurt me, it was Castiel.
I
My
cannot
favorite little
stand.
Tweety Pie.
It's like once he finds true love's first kiss, he dies. Like, come on. How Disney can you
Team
get?
Destiel. I'm sorry, but like Castiel, Dean, Misha, Jensen say it themselves. I'm just
I think I think Misha has been huge on the Destiel
oh, he has.
fan train.
Especially, oh my God, it's probably going to be inappropriate to say about what he just said that I saw. But he's like, if the CW wasn't so homophobic, Dean and Castiel would have been balls deep.
Pretty fair. I think Jensen has been opposed to the DCL though. Destiel.
He wasn't. It was more of the fact he was against everyone shipping him and Misha.
Yeah, because I remember during one of the interviews, and I could be misquoting this though, but Dean was like, they were very clearly family. Like, I don't see how people ship them like they're brothers. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get the relationship concept. But
But as of now, Jensen is supporting it.
I would need the
In
notes
these,
on that one.
I will send you the conventions that I stalk on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
And
they're hilarious at those conventions.
that might just be
Lucky.
him saying like fanfic writers, go ahead, do what you want.
Yeah. And the show's over. I mean, it's been off the air for 4 years with the exclusion of the side thing. It's like let the supernatural family, do whatever they want. As long as it's not like Wincest. Like stay away from that
Oh
topic.
my
Like
God.
that's a real fucking thing that exists in the fandom. Like I'm
It's
fine
so gross.
I'm fine with Dean loving whoever, Sam loving whoever, as long as like they're not
No,
blood, you know what I mean? Well, Bobby and Sam and Dean would also be weird because he's basically their dad, but
wait, who ships Bobby with them?
I'm just saying, if anybody wants to create fanfic about any characters getting into relationships, please by far do it. Just don't make
Let's
it weird.
let's bring this back on the rails a little bit. Because I
We've
did
always been on the
tell
rails.
I've been telling people that our show's about hope, and this ain't it. So, Kirsten, what has
Yes.
Supernatural taught you? What how has it changed you? What have you learned? How's it?
Oh, let's see. What have I learned?
Back to
Um,
Destia.
so, what I've learned from my 4 rewatches, which I'm letting you know, by the time I'm done with season 15, I'm going back to episode 1 for a fifth rewatch. That's how it's been. It's the very first show where I have to keep watching it back to back to back.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Like every time it ends, I'm like, okay, back to episode 1, season 1.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, like what I've noticed lately, especially late last year and this year, it's been something I would watch whenever I am stressed out or like having anxiety, especially last year when I was healing from my hip surgery. It was like one of my comfort shows where I could just forget everything and just be like, oh, immerse myself into that world.
Mhm.
Secretly hoping that Dean or Sam were in love with me, but
Same.
I mean, aren't we all like, look at those beautiful men?
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just that show that helps me forget everything, and then it's just like seeing the unhealthy bond of Sam and Dean, like having that family, like showing how important family is, even though theirs is kind of like a little like, okay, you guys are very dependent on each other, but they're the only people that they have, realistically.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they had Bobby, but Bobby died.
They had their dad. Their dad
Their
died.
dad, their dad, that whole relationship. John
Grandpa Samuel
Winchester.
sucks for sure.
Oh my
Terrible.
God.
Terrible.
No. Freaking poor Sam and his soul. But
Watching Supernatural, is there, do you use it as like an escape or do you kind of find some comparisons from the show? Like, do you find yourself finding ways to overcome obstacles in your day-to-day life from watching the show? Like, does it influence you or inspire you in a way?
I would say a little bit of both, where whenever I'm feeling so out of control, I just have to turn it on and shut off my mind. Because before this, I would have like, I didn't really have a show like Supernatural.
Hmm.
Because I would be like sitting, I would have my occasional rewatch of Sunny with a Chance. Love you, Demi Lovato. Um, or just watch the Goofy movie over and over. But
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, it's a good movie with a great soundtrack. But ever since I got into Supernatural, spent 3 months straight watching it, and then I finding myself watching it a second time, to a third time, and now to my fourth time. Gonna be my fifth because I'm already almost done with season 14. Um, yeah, it just suddenly became a comfort show to me to like forget everything, and then the more I watch it, the more I'm like, okay, like I see a little of myself with a mixture of Sam and Dean in a way. Mainly Dean as an older sibling myself, where pretty much I had to take care of my siblings when my mom was in the hospital when I was 8 years old,
Hmm.
and my dad was at work all the time. So we didn't really have anyone with us. Like, yeah, we had friends who would watch us and we would be at their houses and everything. But as the older sibling and remembering every single detail of what happened, because my siblings don't remember everything because they were so young. My sis, I think I was like 8, and then so my sister would be like 6, and then my little brother. They were very little during that time, but I
Yeah.
remember every single thing.
Yeah, that definitely
So
gives me like Sam and Dean in the motel vibes during Christmas, and
yeah,
Dean
we
had no
did.
money and stole presents.
Yeah, like we didn't really have stable home for a little bit because again, my mom was in the hospital for a month or so. My dad's at work, so we would be jumping from friend's house to house to house. So it
Hmm.
was up to me to be like, okay, I have to watch them, I have to take care of them, like while also like dealing with the trauma that's going on.
Yeah.
And then, I yeah, I would say like Dean, but less harsh, less, gruff, but then also maybe I'm a little like that when I'm outside. Who knows? I don't know how people portray me, so
Well, I feel like Dean was always really gruff and, you know,
yeah.
aggressive whenever it came to protecting Sam. Whenever
And
it was
that's
Sam and
me.
Dean, they were, no, what what was there? No chick flick moments.
Yeah, but Dean loves chick flicks.
They always had chick flick moments.
Yeah, like also with Sam, like no one really spoke about how, despite Dean having to be like a dad, Sam also became a mom to him in a way, taking care of him also when he's down, but in a mother form, making sure he's good.
Mhm.
So like I think I could get a mixture of both of those.
Yeah.
Like Sam's more gentle soul, and sometimes I could be gentle.
That is a nice parallel to draw.
Mhm.
Um, and I did look up some stuff while we were talking about, going into the fifth rewatch. And I mean, it's pretty well established that rewatching the same show does lower your cognitive load and gives you that sense of ease because you know what's going to happen. You're familiar with the characters and you are able to get into it easier.
It still doesn't make it easier.
Well,
Fair.
some of those scenes are more difficult.
Yeah, like the last episode before Dean's death, I literally like stop it at after their little montage of having that normal life. Dean just hugging the dog, Sam going on his jogs, and then I'm like, okay, it's over.
That's it.
Fair.
That's the end of
That's
the
it.
show.
Happy ending. And
Yeah.
then, I continue and then cry my eyes out again. You know, it's just hard. It's hard.
Yeah. And one of the interesting things I kind of felt as I'm rewatching it now, again, in kind of a more psychology minded mindset or what have you, is the characters are so deeply human. They
Yes.
they have this anger that boils over. They're insanely sad. They make terrible, terrible decisions, and then they beat themselves up for years afterwards.
Yep.
And yet, we still love them
Yes.
deeply, intensely.
I've
Um,
never loved characters so much in my life.
yeah, and I think a big part of that is when we see ourselves in them, that gives us hope that we're still worth that love despite our struggles.
Damn, Aaron.
I'm
God,
sorry, man. I
made me
heard that we
tear
were
up a
doing a
little bit.
super natty special. I
Yeah.
went in
I,
on it.
I definitely don't think, Aaron, you've ever caused the apocalypse before. However,
Feels
uh,
like it.
every now and then you might make a really um not great joke or something and maybe hurt my feelings because you want me to be on the Zoom call 15 minutes prior and I want to be on 12 minutes prior. But I'm still going to give you the love that, because I love you and I'm not going to, you know, beat you
It's
up
like
or beat yourself up.
it's like when Dean and Sam feel like they don't do enough for each other
Hmm.
and then beat themselves up, being like, oh, I could have done this or this. That's how I feel with my siblings. And sometimes my sister will call me out on it. Where she's like, just accept the help. And I'm like, how do I do that? How do I do that? No, I've been taking care of you my whole life. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And
Exactly what you're yelling at the screen every time you watch Dean make a really bad impulsive decision. That's the advice you need to
exactly.
take for yourself.
I know another trait Dean and I have, we can't accept help, but we always have to help someone else and give
That's
our
some
all for that someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something I've been struggling with a lot lately is I have this really deep pool of knowledge that I can give to other people, but I haven't integrated it into my being. Like it's knowledge, it's not wisdom. So I can give Tim the best advice, and I'm not gonna fucking follow that shit because I'm knee deep in the muck too. Uh, so yeah, I get it, dude.
Yeah. I
Oh
feel like I
man.
connect to Sam in the fact that I have so much willingness to want to help.
Yeah.
And then
I
never
see
being
that.
able to fully fulfill how much I want to try and help, you know? Especially
Eh,
like if you come across somebody such as, you know, like you, Aaron, you know, you have all this knowledge to help people. You don't need necessarily what I have, but damn it, I'm willing to help you, Aaron.
Well, I need you, bud. Trust you me.
Yeah, man. I mean, like another thing with like me, wow, I really am Dean. But yeah, like we don't allow ourselves to feel anything.
Mm, yeah.
Like it's not on purpose. It's just we feel the need to be strong for everyone else, to sacrifice for everybody else. It's a whole thing, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's just an older sibling thing.
Well, I think that's just easier. It's easier to sacrifice because then you've already done your part. So it's on everyone else what they do with that sacrifice.
I
It's
mean,
much harder to save yourself and then better yourself for yourself in order to help the community.
my
Because,
mom. Oh, go ahead.
no, no, please.
No, I was just saying, my mom recently did call me on FaceTime and she was like crying and she's like, when will you ever put yourself first? And I'm like, well, damn, why are you gonna call me out like that? But that's literally what I say to the screen when the boys are there. And I'm like, gotta find my
Yelling all this
Castiel.
great advice and yet not following it for yourself.
Yeah, that was a deep conversation I had to have out in Japan. Thank you, Paulina. But we were talking about how American police, firemen, military have the highest mortality rates out of any country because
Mhm,
we're so willing to make that sacrifice. But
mhm.
you can't save anyone if you're dead, dumbass. Like,
Big fucking facts. Yeah.
you might die saving that one person, but what about the next 30 people you were going to save?
Yeah. That's bringing it back to the idea of the podcast to begin with, of no streetlights, wanting to just help one person. If we quit the podcast, well, now we can't help that one fucking person. It just makes sense for us to keep going. Got to keep
And
trying to find that one person.
you guys are doing an amazing job with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Especially like it's for men especially, it's hard for them to allow themselves to feel any form of emotion because society has always told them no, that's not being a man. You got to be like macho. You got to be the strong one. You can't show any emotion. You can't cry, all that. But you guys are changing that. And I'm very proud of both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just like Sam.
Well, it's funny you say that because the exact moment you said that statement, it reminded me of when Dean has like his meltdown after John passes away and starts smashing the Impala
Hmm.
with the crowbar. And I remember that scene because it was impactful to me because I was like, this man in my one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character in a TV show ever, does not process his emotions properly. I never want to be like that. I need to learn
Yeah,
how to make sure to process my shit.
And
Took me
let's be
years, but I got
real.
there.
Let's be real. They still do not know how to process their emotions.
me either.
Yeah, it's an ever evolving technique.
Same, Aaron.
You you're always having to change how you approach that because no two feelings are ever going to be the same, you know.
Yeah.
If the one thing they needed, it was therapy.
Well, when they tried therapy,
BetterHelp.com/NSLP.
I mean,
yeah,
when they went to that family therapy with Jack and the shifter, I mean, I'm like, that would have been good for them because had a breakthrough for a moment with Sam storming out, being like, "Well, how do you feel about this? I don't have a relationship with mom, but you did," and just like walks on like, "You see that, Dean? Look what you did."
damn, damn.
And little Jack just in the corner trying to just be there, be happy, but Dean scares him.
Jack being like maybe 3 months old at that point.
I love Jack. I like to say he's my son.
Yeah,
If I see
It
Jack, I'd
is
be like, my son.
Dude, Jack is such a beautiful character to me because he
He
is
is.
born this blank slate, and as he kind of ingests more society and more of this reality that we've created, he gets fucking dark. And
Yes.
it's like, no, look, that's a reflection. That's what we've made. That's what
Hmm.
there is out there to ingest. So what'd you think was gonna happen, guy?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Also,
Jack is literally a mirror of fucking society.
he is, and I love him. I want to protect him, put him in your bubble, and keep him in my pocket, and protect him at all costs.
If it really wasn't for the love that Castiel and Sam and sometimes Dean, because Dean had that father big brother moment with him every now and then, but
He became John Winchester for a moment.
oh my God. You know, one of the last like blow ups Dean ever had against Jack with like calling him like he's not family or something like that. Like
Yep.
he never apologized for that shit in the show.
Nope.
He never did. It's just
Mm-mm.
Jack became the tool. Dean used him. Sam and
Yeah.
Dean used him. But
I mean, I just got to the part where like they use Jack's soul to like keep him alive because he was
mhm,
already dying, and I'm like, not my son,
Yep.
yeah,
not my son. And
yeah.
like the scene where him and Dean went fishing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so you said this was a happy memory of for you and your dad, and I just wanted to spend time with you." I'm like, "Oh my God!" And then he's just seen Dean's face. He's like you could tell he felt so guilty about
Hmm.
everything he's done to Jack, which is why he took him on that joyride, fishing, all the food. Just should have apologized to him. That's my son. That's my son. But on a random off note, I actually haven't seen like 2 episodes of Supernatural to this day because I didn't watch the episodes with the clowns due to my phobia. So
Oh,
I don't know
that's
what happened in those episodes.
no, that's fair. Yeah, that's very fair.
So I just will be like, oh, right. I forgot this episode existed because I never watched it.
Yeah.
Though I will say there is one episode that I completely forgot about. It was a Chitters episode. Do you guys remember that one? It's
Was
with
that the
these.
season one bugs?
No, 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 no. It was it season 13 or 12? One of the two. It
Hmm.
was random. Like those monsters were like having orgies and stuff. And I was like, wait. I'm like, I don't remember this.
Yeah, what the hell?
I was like,
Supernatural. You went places, man.
they were
I'll
trying
call
to
you when I get there because I don't.
they were trying to defeat Amara. They were trying to go up against Amara. That's what I remember. And then they met these 2 hunters who were chasing the Chitters because they killed a family member of his.
Hmm.
Speaking of Amara, I have a love-hate relationship for her. Because the way they portrayed it, I'm sorry, I jump from topic to topic. I don't know, it's like little ADHD going up in here. But with Amara, I love the idea of like the whole darkness thing that's going on with her. I did not like the idea of her and Dean, especially
Oh,
like watching teenage Amara just going up to him and be like, "You can't stop 18," and then just like caressing his face. I'm like, this feels wrong. This
yeah.
feels not right. Like, why
Yeah.
is there a teenager flirting with a grown man?
Yeah.
But I love the idea of her.
Yeah, I really like the character Amara. I think the introduction of
Mhm.
her, she was an awesome big bad, right? And I honestly I really think her storyline, season 15 excluded, but I really think her storyline ended on a good note too. Her
Yeah,
her character arc was full, it was completed. She went from where she was at the beginning of season, what season is that? 12, right?
pretty much.
Yeah, she went from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, had a full character development, changed and everything. Like Amara had a really good story.
Oh,
But
wait, no,
yeah,
she was at season 11.
Okay,
because
see
season 10 was Demon Dean, my
the
husband.
demon. Yeah, season 11, I think. But yeah,
I,
no, the portrayal of her as, growing up through baby toddler, preteen, teen, and then adult. And then, yeah, no, I don't know. They probably they should have just made her an adult right off the rip. I think they learned their lesson though when they introduced Jack into the show, which is why I think he came out as a quote unquote adult.
yeah, because that whole thing was just weird to me. Even
Yeah.
every time I rewatch it, I'm just like,
Hmm.
How do
get
you
this off my screen.
how do you feel about the whole supernatural split where a lot of people, myself included, have seasons 1 through 6 as like Supernatural 1, and then like 6 through 15 is like
Um,
a whole nother show as Supernatural 2?
right, right, right. Ooh, okay,
Because
so
they're
they're
oh, go ahead.
completely different vibes for
Hmm.
sure. Like for me, like season 1 to 5, that's their whole like spooky dark era. And right after, you get all this stuff. And right at the beginning, you're just like, man, these boys just wanted to find their dad. How did they get here? How
Yeah.
did they start fighting demons, angels, all these other things? The end of the world
Yep.
when they were just like, hey, we need to fight our dad.
Dude, yeah,
But
have it.
to answer your question, because I keep going around for some reason, I there's a special place in my heart for season 1 through 5. Those episodes, I would always go back and have a great time. And I still have a good time with like the later seasons too, except 11, 12, and 13. Those 3 seasons, I kind of goes down for me because for me, I did not care for the British men of letters.
Hmm.
Okay.
I really didn't care.
I mean, how hard were they trying? They just called them the British men of
The British,
letters.
like with the men of letters, I kind of had fun with the American men of letters.
Yeah,
They were like these cool little guys, just like, yeah, I'm here, like, snapping their way through life.
yeah.
But the British men of
West Side
letters,
storing it up.
basically. But British men of letters, I didn't really care. Th- It kind of went down for me. And then, yeah, no, even with all these rewatches, I still feel the same about 11, 12, and 13, where I'm just like, they
Take it or
just,
leave it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then 14, which I'm currently on, I would say the beginning of season 14, I tend to skip a lot. And then it goes to the later episodes of season 14 where it really picks up for me, especially the ending of season 14, where, Chuck was just like, you fine, welcome to the end, snaps, and then everything goes dark. All the demons and zombies and everything they killed come back up to life. The music playing like God was ever on your side, and you just see them. It's just a whole thing. I'm just like, yes.
That is super badass.
Right.
Since you're delineating like the seasons that you kind of skip through, what's your favorite season? What season like really sings in your soul?
Oh, what season? Honestly, season 5.
Okay, Start of the Apocalypse, Four Horsemen. I love it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love season 5. Every time I'm watching it, I'm like, let's go, let's go. And then, ends with Sam sacrificing himself. And I'm like, no.
Is there something specific about season 5 that really draws your favoritism towards it?
I don't know what it is. Just like, it's the whole beginning of like basically the world ending for them.
If I
Yeah.
had to sum up what season 5 feels like every time I rewatch it, and maybe you can agree with me here, it feels like the Avengers Infinity War slash Endgame
Yes,
of
it
Supernatural.
does.
Everything finally culminating into the big gigantic showdown finale. Things that you feel like they've been building up for 5 seasons, where some of it they made up on the fly,
Yes.
but it feels like the big, all everybody coming together finally. And then, yeah, season 6 and beyond feels kind of like you know, after in game.
Yeah.
After. It's the
I
new
got
Marvel shows
goosebumps.
and
Whew,
movies.
whew.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, that gave me goosebumps.
But but I will say like the end of season 14, like that last episode I was describing, it gave me the same emotions I felt with season 5, with everything coming back and the music and just like how they filmed it was so good. I will watch it to this day and be like, it's still so good.
Yeah.
That's
So
fair. They did
good.
manage to bring it back just that once.
That one time. But
Yeah.
with later seasons, I did get Demon Dean, and that's my favorite Dean.
Oh my God.
Because he's sexy, dangerous.
I was like, okay, so my problem is
Her red flag.
everything I watch, I love a villain.
That's fair.
I I would just sit and be like, I'd watch the Vampire Diaries / originals. I'm there for Klaus Michelson. I'm like, is this a serial vampire killer? Go off. I love you.
Yeah.
You got Kai Parker in Vampire Diaries where he's like, oh, actually, yeah, I slaughtered my family. And I'm like, go off.
I feel you, girl. Same.
I get
Girl, say
it.
it's just one of those days.
He was just in the mood. He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go kill my family. And I'm like, go off.
They probably had it
And
coming.
then
Was it?
Teen Wolf when Styles went void and started killing everybody. I'm looking at you differently and I like it.
Oh, wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Do we need to put spoiler alerts for Teen Wolf in this too? Because I don't know anything about Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Is-
I just wanted to
You
transition
know,
here, which will make me really popular in Hollywood. Since we're talking
anyway,
about since we're talking about monsters, what are the
Loki.
monsters that like really stick out to you? What are the ones that you love? What are the ones that you hated?
Oh, ooh. Um, does it have to be movies, TV shows, whichever?
Oh, I meant Supernatural
Oh,
specifically, but
Supernatural. Um, I love Crowley.
okay, that's fair.
Crowley. But you know what? He becomes a good guy, and I'm just like, I love you. Um, so funny as a Catholic. I love Lucifer.
Well, they do a lot of work to
We love
humanize both
Lucy,
of those.
yeah.
but when he's just Nick, like with Lucifer
Mhm.
gone, I hated Nick.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. Go
I
off.
don't remember Nick that much,
Yeah,
but
He,
because he was horrible.
but
yeah.
Nick was the best Lucifer. I just
Yeah.
He
watched
was.
I just watched the episode where Ezekiel or whoever takes Sam or Dean to the future to see Sam Satan. And I was like, damn, Sam really fucking sucked to Satan.
Yeah. He
I'm
wasn't,
sorry.
Jared did his best.
We love Jared Padalecki.
No, Nick
Yes.
was by far the best Lucifer throughout the entire show.
He was, but then when he
But
turned into Nick, that's like, oh, I hate you.
yeah, it's like they wanted him to be Lucifer, but less quippy.
Yeah, but
So
that's
he just
so
wasn't
good.
making jokes. No, it
No,
wasn't good.
no, I meant like the actor where he was so good at making us hate him.
Oh, yeah.
But
I just flat out didn't like the character.
I hated him so much. And then what other villain did I hate? Oh,
Asmodeus.
um, the
Asmodeus.
As I
I didn't care for him.
evil Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I didn't have
Yeah.
an
Colonel Sanders.
I didn't have an opinion on him at all. I was just like,
E-
oh, okay, he's there. All
evil
right.
Castiel.
No, he was fun to me.
Oh, I fucking love the evil
But
Castiel.
the Leviathans, I did not like them.
No. Dick.
Yeah.
I was angry throughout the whole show.
Hmm.
And then, I'm gonna count the British Men of Letters. I'm gonna count them.
Yeah.
I hated them. Hated them. Can I say John Winchester's?
Yes. But
Yeah.
also, what are some of your all-time greats? What are some of the monsters that you really like
The
felt threatened or felt like,
ooh,
damn, this is a real thing?
Like scared you.
that scared me. Azazel, yellow-eyed demon.
Good old yellow eyes.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, come on, man. It's freaky. As soon as he pops up with those freaking yellow eyeballs, I'm like, who that? Huh. But he was such a good villain with the special children and everything. It was so good. What other villain? I kind I was kind of here for the Alpha Vampire. I was here for
Yeah.
it.
That man, that actor, right? Every time he showed up to set, they gave him a fork and knife because that man would eat up the entire fucking scene. I'm telling you, he was
Yes.
incredible. Such a good, charismatic person. I'm so glad they casted that person to be
It's
the
just
Alpha
he's
Vamp.
just so good, and it's just like you know you would die in his presence.
And he managed to convey like the timeline that he had been there since the beginning and that he was the
Yeah.
darkness and like
Yes.
get the fuck out of my house. Like who the fuck are you?
But yeah, you know, Lucifer, of course. He didn't really scare me, but like he's great. His whole villain arc, I'm here for it. I'm like, woo. Um, you know, because majority of the characters, like they could start off evil, but then they like started switching sides, and then like no one's really good or bad, but like evil, I would say is Azazel, Alpha Vampire, and Lucy.
Okay. Tim, do you have any monsters that stand out to you?
Oh
I
wait, does
do.
Kane count?
No, I wouldn't count Kane as necessarily. He wasn't really evil,
He wasn't, but
No.
like I love Kane.
and
Kane is,
he's
yeah.
just another beautiful man.
His
God,
He's just
hair.
I
another
love.
Winchester.
I know that actor from Psych. I don't want to get too far off the
I've
trails here.
seen some of that.
He's Lassie in Psych, and I fucking love Psych. And so whenever I saw him in Supernatural for the first time, I was like, ah, Lassie. Um, but yes, I do have so I have an answer to my favorite villain, and I have an answer to the most scary villain.
Oh, okay.
But before I answer those, Aaron, I would like you to tell me yours.
Yeah, tell
Hmm.
us. Show and tell.
For me, it's the gin.
The Jinn, okay. As
Oh,
like the
Yep.
scariest or your favorite?
A monster that truly terrifies me
Mm,
that is
because
terrifying.
I I feel a bit like I identify with the pain there because I am kind of in this idyllic life while I'm starving and being drained. Um, so that feels very real to me. Again, when we talked about the 21 rat beef, I was like, damn, whenever Kendrick said, you know, you're not part of us, you're a colonizer. I think that really reached in and touched Drake's deepest fears of people saying, like, you're not from here. You're just pretending. And for me, nothing could be more terrifying than thinking everything is hunky dory while you're slowly dying.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
damn.
Didn't even think about that. I'm
I look at it from
adding that to my list.
I look at it from a similar point of view, but for some reason, I have this weird fear in the back of my mind that one day I'm just gonna wake up in like a hospital bed and I'm gonna be like 55 and my entire life I've been in a coma and nothing I've ever experienced was actually real. Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes the Jinn pretty terrifying.
Heat of the moment.
So, Tim,
Um,
monsters for you.
Man, okay. So I'm going in the same vein as you here, Aaron, with more of a philosophical answer, I suppose. The most terrifying villains to me in Supernatural were whenever it was a human, because they were
Oh,
far too
Oh,
fucking real every single time. Like there's a couple episodes where it's like actually just people doing the killing, and
I
it's like,
mean,
damn,
yeah, when they
those
hunted people for sport.
yeah. Like
most
even in
dangerous
the earlier
game.
season too, when like Sam and Dean think they're dealing with a ghost and they put down the salt line and everything and they're standing behind it, they think they're all safe, and then the girl just keeps walking past it and they're like, that's not a ghost. Like
Yep.
that
Yeah.
The
scene,
children under the stairs.
yes, that scene always gets me because it's like, oh fuck, this is real. Like put a
Yes.
ghost, a vamp. I'm pretty sure Dean says this too all the time. He's like, put a ghost, a vamp, a fucking or a demon or whatever in front of me, but humans, they're the most terrifying.
Well, yeah, because they're unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Highland has actually always said that when we talked about scary movies in our younger days. He said, paranormal stuff doesn't scare me. It's when it's just people, because people are crazy.
Yes. Yes.
I've actually had a supernatural experience once.
Get the salt.
I should have gotten the salt. I was being suffocated. It was not fun.
So yeah,
That's another story.
next further our Halloween special.
Oh, bring me back for that Halloween special. I have all the stories to tell.
Well, our wives are actually thinking about making an appearance. So
Ooh, let me join.
For
As a
Make it a
our
party.
sister-in-law.
yeah, it's just gonna be nothing but Pinoy.
But yeah, so who are your favorite villains?
Favorite
Or
villain,
yeah,
Aaron. Do you have a favorite villain?
Tim, go ahead, because you did said you had the scariest and your favorite.
I
yeah.
do. Yes. It's Lucifer. I'm sorry.
We love Lucy.
There's no better villain than Lucifer in the entire show, with the exception, I think Chuck might have been very close second, because I
Ooh.
already loved the character, and the moment he made that heel turn, I was like, fuck. But
It was a
I think
really
it's
good
always
turn.
going to be
It
Lucifer,
was
because
when he made that dog disappear that pissed me off.
he was just such an arrogant prick. But no, Lucifer was my favorite. Anytime he was on scene, just like the Alpha Vampire, I could watch an entire show of just Lucifer talking to other characters in Supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I
love
think I've got one.
the Oh,
Mm,
go ahead, tell us.
Go ahead first, Kirsten, because I'm gonna derail this a little bit.
Oh, okay. I
I
was just
love
gonna say,
that.
like,
I can't wait.
my favorite part was, therapy for Chuck and Lucifer.
Sam and Dean acting as counselors.
They had to be counselors for God and Lucifer.
Oh my God. That's
It,
the
it's so good.
comedy in Supernatural was very usually, and it's always based off of how the actors play off of it, but it's almost always
Yeah.
top tier to me. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when they were trying to be funny, I always laughed. They always got me with it, even if the jokes were a little
Every
corny.
single time.
Hell yeah. All right, Aaron, let's take this train off the tracks.
My favorite villain in Supernatural is Dean Winchester.
Please explain.
Because
And it's not even Demon Dean, it's just Dean.
just Dean. Because what destroys us more than our own decisions?
What? You and all the
He
deep answers.
he made his bed and he had to fucking lie in it, and it wasn't a nice fucking bed. There are so many times when we're screaming at Dean, just make the right fucking decision. Just have
Stop
a heart.
lying.
And he's
I
just like,
can't.
I hate you. And we're like, dude, yeah, come
Oh
on, show
my.
some compassion.
Like,
I can't
what
let
pissed
he's
me off?
he's my brother Bobby.
What pissed me off was when he kept going at Sam's throat after he came back from purgatory. And then threw in the fact that Benny was more of a brother to him than Sam ever was.
Yeah.
That one pissed me off.
I just got to the point where Dean comes back from the future where Sam is Satan, and he says, like, whatever goes down, we're in this together.
Yeah, what
And
happened?
that's the only time that he's like there for his brother. The rest of the time he's like, you're a piece of shit. I hate you. Make better decisions. You're fucking
Yeah.
up.
Dude, Dean berates Sam so much throughout that show. I'm like,
Yeah.
God dang,
That's
dude.
the one thing we don't relate on.
So
Yeah.
that is my favorite villain is Dean. Because I love
It's
him,
Dean Winchester. He
but
takes after
also
his
like,
father.
fuck, man.
Dude, I think a lot of that has to do with, because like if you look at the flashbacks and everything, Dean was always trying so hard to keep Sam within these two lines, and
Mhm.
Sam never stayed in between those lines, right? Sam always wanted to zigzag out. And I think as I'm diving into psychology of a character that's fake right now, but as they
Listen,
got
they're real
older,
to us.
the damn straight they are. But as they got older, like Sam breaking that mold every which way, just like Dean was like no longer in control. He was no longer big brother. Sam is out there killing demons with his freaking mind, man. He's letting Lucifer take over his soul. Dean's just like, I can't do anything for him. Bobby, he's my brother.
alcoholism.
Yeah, a lot of alcohol in that show.
Yeah,
And,
and
on top of the earlier womanizing we talked about and
Yeah.
all that.
he was
Yeah.
trying to be his dad.
A lot of glorifying of very toxic traits. But one thing that was mentioned just now by you, Kirsten, was
Me.
Benny, who was played by the very incredible Ty Olson. And
Love
I don't
ya.
know if anybody here knows about this, but Ty Olson and DJ Qual, who is known for playing Garth.
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 Benny and Garth are engaged. They just announced their engagement within the past week, and I am
Oh,
so stoked for those two. Oh my God, I loved their characters. They were
love is
incredible.
love.
Love is love, and we love love.
Like, oh
Mhm.
my God, it's the fact that majority of them like met their lovers on the
On
set of
Supernatural.
Supernatural. Like, you got Jared and Jen,
Yep.
which also Jen's actually my favorite Ruby, which also another controversial thing. I love Ruby.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair. She played the long con and she did it so
So
well.
good. Yeah.
I did not like her at first watch, but the more I watched, the more I love Ruby.
Mhm.
But yeah, like they met together, and then you got Chuck and Rowena, just
Yep.
everyone coming in. But we can't really count Jensen and his wife. She just guest starred, but they met previously.
Yeah, they
But
And
they
I mean,
I
all
think
of
they're
us in Castiel.
yeah.
Castiel,
The angel of what is he? Angel of Thursday or Angel of Tuesday? I don't care. He's my favorite cast.
he's an angel.
No, the Castiel is a real angel in I think. Oh, I'm. It's in one of the
Religion.
Abraham. It's in one of the Abrahamic religions. But Castiel is a real angel, and he's like the angel of Tuesday or Thursday or something. I don't know. Over my
My
head.
grandma would hate this show with, as a hardcore Catholic.
Yeah.
But I did get her to watch some, and I didn't tell her the plot. She just looked at Jensen and Jared. She's like, "Who are they?"
Wow.
Like, yeah. And also, this is very late, but if you're not watching this and you're just listening, we're all in flannels.
This
We
was
are
one of
all
our
in
requirements.
flannels. I
Yeah.
required it.
Yep.
Yep.
It was me.
It was
It's a
me.
little warm
I'm
in
the
the garage,
problem.
and she called me out immediately.
Oh
I
my.
did. I'm like,
Boy, where's your flannel?
where's your flannel?
Better get that uniform on.
I mean, we gotta support. There's there's so much that we could uncover with how traumatized these boys are with their PTSD. They got that from being in hell, both of them. Spam. Oh my God. Sam specifically in the
Spam.
cage with Lucifer.
And
Oh, and
Michael.
can we talk about the fact that they left their little brother? He was just forgotten.
Bro, he started
Yeah.
off as a ghoul. He had no hope.
No. Zero.
It was when they called it out too, though, with that one episode where, the musical. And they're like,
Yeah.
who's that guy? And they're like, oh, that's their brother. He's still in the cage. And they're like, oh,
You know, it's really terrible. As much as I love that show, I'm drawing a blank on the brother's name.
Adam.
Adam,
Adam.
that's right. Yes. Um, oh God. And then if anybody out there has ever listened to the I'm drawing a blank on their name on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel that did two supernatural like music videos.
Hillywood.
Hillywood, yes,
I
yes,
watched it 2 nights ago.
they're incredible. The second one is well, they're both amazing. The Supernatural 1 and 2 music videos are amazing, but the second one they have like a good majority, if not almost all of the actors from the show
Yes.
in the music video, and it's so cool. Even Jensen and Jared are there.
Ghostbusters.
Mm,
It's so good. I was rewatching it because it's just so good.
so good.
And it shows how much of a good sport they are to like help out with parodies like that because not a lot of people are going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The Winchesters traumatized. And I could keep going, but we don't have a lot of time.
Well, so I do want to leave the viewers and listeners with some additional thoughts from you here, Kirsten. But
Okay.
if you had to give any advice to some of our listeners who might be struggling with depression and are looking for comfort in a TV show, like what do you think draws you towards Supernatural? What makes you want to keep going back to it?
Ooh. I would say how, like, to quote Aaron, how deeply human everyone is. And that life is going to be hard no matter what. And like being able to watch a show and see how these characters, despite being able to like fight demons, uh, evil spirits, humans, despite all of that, like even though they're considered heroes, they're still very flawed. They still deal with mental health issues, especially Sam and Dean.
Or they're just flat out villains, right,
Or they're
Aaron?
just,
Yeah.
or
Girl, same.
Girl, one of those days, I'm telling you.
But yeah, what draws me back is the fact that they are human, and it reminds us that even people who are we consider heroes, like even like superheroes out there and everything, we can still relate and we could find solutions through them, just maybe not the way Sam and Dean do. In general, like you're able to see, maybe even see yourself and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be this way because this is how this affects other people, or this is
Yeah.
how I could end up.
So I
It's a
have a
beautiful
really
perspective.
tough follow-up question on this, and it's okay if you need a second to think about it.
Yeah.
But if you had to show Supernatural to somebody to try and convince them that the show holds all of those themes that you just talked about, what episode do you think you would show them?
Oh my God. Ooh.
You can think about it
Mm.
for a while. I can ask Tim the same question he asked before that.
Yeah. Like I'm still like trying to figure out both. I have a horrible way of answering things because my brain just goes shoot, 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 shoot. Because again, like when you asked me about how why do I keep coming back or how do they find a comfort show for them? Literally, it's just what makes them feel like they're home, but also like not something to escape fully from, just to take something as a comfort and be like, okay, I could push through. I got this. I could fight this for the day and then just go on. And if they're so tired, they have something to come back to. So, what episode would I show? I guess it depends. Ooh, there's so many good ones.
I think I have a pretty solid answer for that question.
Go with
You
the
want to go
Scooby Doo
first?
one, you fiend.
Scooby Natural. It's the only episode you'll ever need.
It's so good.
Oh, I love it. It's so funny.
It's Velma and the Shoulders. But honestly, same Velma. Same.
Dean just hating Fred the entire time.
Ends up wearing the ascot in the end.
Sam,
Yep.
Sam, look how big my mouth is. So good.
Oh,
So, Tim, your
Yeah.
two questions. What
Yes.
is what is Supernatural teaching you that you've taken away that keeps bringing you back? And what episode personifies that? What would you show?
That is probably some of the easiest questions I've ever been asked in my entire life, with the exception of what is my favorite movie. What does Supernatural, what makes me keep coming back to it? What does it remind me of? It reminds me that family don't end in blood.
ooh, that's a good answer. Here
Hell
I am trying
yeah.
to think of deep things, and you just simplify it.
Well, I have lived a good majority of my life collecting family, right? Like the family I was
Mhm.
born into, 98% of them, we're not super close, right? I have a couple members of my family I'm super close to, my mom, Brian, and a couple other of my cousins and everybody that I truly, genuinely love. Of course, my brothers. But, I found brothers and sisters through you, Aaron, and Kirsten, and, you know, various other friends that we have back home, Aaron, and family don't end in blood. To me, it always meant that it's not family's more than just blood, you know? Just because we share the same blood don't mean we're family, and just because we don't share the same blood doesn't mean we're not family. He may be your father, boy, but he ain't your daddy. or whatever the quote was from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, to me, it always meant like that family was bigger, and family was who was there with you through the thick and thin, the ones who loved you unconditionally.
I think
And
that's like the big point of Supernatural too. It's just like it's just a big family
yeah, saving
and
people, hunting things, and be family.
family business, which I have gone to that brewery. He
And
wasn't there.
if I had to take any episode to show somebody that I think Supernatural embodies that thought, would be season 5 finale.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it would be because it it just hits everything, right? It shows the problem that they're facing. Sam is no longer Sam, and Dean and Bobby and Cass, and they're on the verge of giving up, but they just can't because it's Sam. He's family.
Yeah.
And even when everything seems like all is lost, Castiel is dead, Bobby is dead, Dean, he's getting beat to a bloody freaking pulp, man. At the very end, Sam pulls through and does the ultimate sacrifice to save everybody that he loves. It's a huge spoiler if it's their first episode ever of watching Supernatural. Huge spoiler.
Sorry.
But
But you were warned in the
damn,
beginning.
if there's ever been an episode that I just want to go back to and rewatch over and over, other than season 4, episode 1, Lazarus Rising, because Dean lifts up his shirt. Oh God, he's so hot.
Okay, but the fact that like Dean was barely shirtless throughout the whole 15 seasons, and then there's Sam just constantly shirtless showing his collarbone. I'm like, what a slut.
Yeah. I think it was in Jared Padalecki's contract where he had to be shirtless at least 15 times per season. Nobody complained. In
No,
fact,
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't even
not.
think it was in the script. I think Jared Padalecki was just, I'm hot, man. I'm just took his shirt
It's just
off.
like it was when they always like show their like
Oh
tattoo,
yeah,
and like Dean is barely showing, but then there's Sam just like I'm like, I see you trying
yes.
to show that
Sam's
collarbone.
like damn near ripping her shirt down. Just speaking of which,
Wrong
Aaron, you
tattoo.
you have that tattoo.
Oh yeah. Oh, wrong side.
Wrong side.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You'll never
You
get
actually,
possessed.
that's amazing.
I'm good.
That's freaking amazing. Oh my God. I still am trying to figure out like to show what episode that embodies all of that.
This tattoo, I mean, it's not Supernatural original, but I've got the idea based off of the phrasing that's on the Colt barrel.
Ooh.
I will fear
Well,
no evil.
I guess it's my turn to get one.
Yeah, go get yourself a tattoo if you feel mentally ready, prepared, and all that
My
good
thing
stuff.
is, if I get a tattoo, I would stare at it too long to the point where I'd be like, I actually hate it.
Yeah,
So
I
if
just
I
took
were
my
to get
glasses
one,
off.
if I
Just
were
get one
to
on your
get
back
one,
then.
I would get one like behind my ear.
Yeah. Get one on your back or something. You'll forget it's there. Trust me.
But Aaron, what would you show uh the episode, whatever the question was?
If you had to get somebody
There you
to
go.
understand the themes that drives you to Supernatural, what episode would you show someone?
I don't really have an answer to that. Because
Cop
I
out.
don't. Yeah. Sorry. I was a cop and now I'm out.
Ooh.
Damn it.
It's just true. Uh, but the theme for me in Supernatural, that I perceived while I was really thinking about it, watching the show, the past few days, few weeks, was it. Supernatural really makes you feel like anything is possible if you just focus your will exclusively on that. Like you've got you've got what it takes. You've got enough. All you have to do is fucking grind. You just have to care enough and you will find a way. Which, I mean, if you do that for a while, you'll end up like me and some other people where your body like locks you into your parasympathetic system because it's like, you gotta fucking relax. Take a breath, fucking heal. But yeah, it does make you feel like anything is possible just through sheer force of will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still
Again,
trying to think of an episode.
So season
Sam,
5 and
season
the
5
finale.
episode,
Season
the
5 is
Well,
just
maybe
finale.
I
so
wouldn't
good.
start someone there. Yeah.
Oh man.
If
It
you don't have
would
an
probably
answer,
be.
Kirsten, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
No,
a
but like
hard question.
it's so hard like the one that pops into my head, I don't with even though I watch it so many times, I can't pinpoint what episode is what.
Mhm.
But it's oh my God. When Dean finally broke down and started crying to Sam, I was just like, no. But you know, there's so many.
Yeah.
It's when, ooh, basically, man, so much like in my head, I also have when John was trying to tell them, like, oh, the job is more important than all the before anything else. And then Sam just looking
Yep.
at Dean in the back seat, bloody and everything. He's like, not everything. And I'm like, it's not.
Yeah.
But oh, what episode to show that embodies everything that feels like home to me and like mental health and family. What would it be? There's just so much.
So for me, the episode that comes to mind the more I think on it, that I might show someone to show them like the premise of Supernatural
Mhm.
would be the episode where Chuck is trying to get them to kill Jack,
Ooh,
and
so the end
they
of
they
season
fucking
14.
yeah, and so I guess the end of season 14,
Dude,
where
like, yes.
he's just like, I want you to do it. And they don't. So he just kills him. And then you realize they're just playthings to these more
Yeah.
powerful beings. And I think that kind of encapsulates the show in a way.
Those are
Damn.
my two favorite episodes.
And they share
And
one major thing in common. Rob Benedict is in both episodes. He is clearly the best actor in the entire show. I want Rob Benedict on
Maybe
this podcast.
Rob, hit us up.
I would
Yeah.
probably even show the episode where Jack's dying, where,
Where he burns up his soul.
yeah,
Hmm.
we're like, despite everything that happened, and then Jack accepting the death and everything, and they're also like they don't want to let go. But sometimes there are things you do have to let go, but they really don't. But how do I put it into words? It's just the fact that like for a long time, Dean didn't see Jack as family, and then realizing, oh, he is my family. And
Yeah.
like it goes back to what Bobby says, like family don't end in blood. Jack's the new baby.
Family don't end in blood, boy.
So it would probably be that episode, or I guess end of season 14 or end of season 5. Ooh, or when Sam gets stabbed from, the special children.
Hmm.
And then like Dean just being there making all the sacrifices and
Dean
then
doing
selling his
whatever it
soul.
takes. Yep.
That
Giving up.
one, you know what?
Yep. The season 2
That one
finale.
sets season 2 finale. That pretty much sets everything up
Yeah,
for
Hmm.
fair.
what's to happen. So you know what? Season 2, last episode. Well, second to last episode.
All Hell Breaks Loose Part 2. I think that's the name of the episode. I don't know.
You said it confidently enough. You'd pass on the
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, I got it. Hey, so all right. Well, Kirsten,
That took
thank
me a
you
long
so
time to
much.
answer.
I'm glad you were able to figure one out. I mean, that's a hard question.
It's
If
really
any
hard.
if anybody part of the Supernatural family listens to this episode and they want to tell us what their favorite episode or what episode they would show a newcomer, and yeah, let's be honest, season 1, episode 1 is probably the best answer, so everybody knows what's going on.
But outside of that,
Outside of that, yeah, let's think about what themes we love about Supernatural and what episode encapsulate those themes. So if anybody from the Supernatural family, when you do listen to this, if you listen to this, please share it with a friend, show it throughout the community. Um, Come on and talk with us, interact with us, email us, no streetlights podcast at gmail.com. You can hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the
Any
social
social.
medias.
Yeah.
And to all of our audio listeners, some of you may not know, but we actually are on YouTube right now. we are posting up the videos. So if you have a YouTube account and you want to go support us on there, we would greatly appreciate it. The experience might be slightly different, which is just great because that means you get more of No Streetlights podcast.
And you get to see our flannels.
Hell yeah. You get the
And my tattoo.
And the tattoos,
And his
yeah.
tattoo. He really has it.
He really
He's not
does.
lying.
And for any of our watchers on YouTube, if you were unaware, we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora.
And Pandora
Radio.
and every other. If you find us,
Oh my
I've
God,
always
you guys
said,
are in iHeartRadio?
Yeah.
we're on
I didn't even know
everything.
this. Congrats.
We're on everything, almost everything except SoundCloud. We're definitely not on SoundCloud.
That's amazing. Congrats, guys. I
SoundCloud.
didn't even know this.
I've always told everyone, if you find a place where we aren't, let me know so we can go.
Definitely.
So
But,
if you're looking for us, you're going to find us.
hell yeah.
Just like Castiel popping out of everywhere. Just be like, hey guys.
Damn it, Cass. Don't stain my ass.
I wasn't in your.
Well, what was it? Damn it, Cass. Stay out of my ass.
So I wasn't in your. Like, Speaking of the Spanish version, Dean says I love you back. Did you not know?
No.
Love is
If
a
you
very
watch
powerful
the
emotion.
Spanish dub, they hated it so much that they had him say it back.
Well, that is something we didn't know that's new to all of us. So
It's so good.
thank you. And thank you for coming on the show to
Thank
talk with
you
us.
for having me. I always have a fun time. My wayward brothers.
Wayward Winchesters. And
Yeah.
thanks to all of you for listening.
This has been Aaron.
And Tim with my sister-in-law, Kirsten.
Bye.
Massive shout out to Highland Markle for the original music.
Share this episode with somebody who could benefit from it.
And let us know what you want to hear our take on.
Or message us to do a collab.
All pertinent links can be found in the episode description.
Be good to yourselves and each other.
We love you.
Fight the fairies.
Legal disclaimer, our podcast is for entertainment purposes and cannot be substituted for professional medical advice.
If you need help now, please call 911 or 988 for immediate intervention.
Bye.